city of Toronto abuzz after an historic day here at the Rogers Centre one day ago. The Blue Jays look for the sweep against the Tampa Bay Rays. JP Arancibia making his way quickly out to the batting cage this morning, and why wouldn't you? A 4-for-5 afternoon in his major league debut, really taking it all in, signing autographs for the fans, and truly enjoying himself. Hello, everyone. Sam Cosentino filling in for Buck Martinez alongside Pat Tabler. And Pat, what we saw from JP Arancibia yesterday was truly historic.
This game is not that easy to be able to do what he did in yesterday's game. The first pitch he sees, he hits a home run. He hits another home run. Truly a monumental game. And when you talk to him today, he said he was relaxed and he was confident, and the game really slowed down for him. It certainly did, because he put up 4 hits, the first time a Blue Jay batter's ever done that.
Manager Cito Gaston's so impressed by the feat. Here's what he had to say.
JP had a heck of a day today. One that he can go back and tell his grandkids, and I don't know if anyone would believe it, though, unless they've really seen it. So hopefully we got some film on that. He can take and give it to his mom, dad, whatever, and enjoy that. So great day for us, great day for the ball club. Guys played as a team. There's a lot of big hits today.
The Toronto Blue Jays continue to use the home run as a weapon, and yesterday came close to a major league record.
Yeah, 10 home runs in one game. I mean, think about that, what they did back in 1987 with those 10 home runs. It came close in yesterday's game. We were totally blown away yesterday watching the ball fly out of this ballpark with regularity. I remember that game in 1987, the power pack lineup that the Blue Jays had back then. Well, this one really matches up too with that team.
Yesterday marked the first time in 3 years that a major league team has hit 8 home runs in a game. Our starting pitching matchup for today features Brandon Morrow riding a 3-game win streak. He goes up against Andy Sonnenstein.
Andy Sonnenstein comes off the disabled list to make the start. This was supposed to be Jeff Neiman, but he was scratched. And it's so nice that Joe Maddox can go to his bullpen and pull Simon Sonnenstein out of that. He has been the long man for them, but he hasn't had much luck here at Rogers Centre. Just a 2-2 record with an ERA over 6. Doesn't throw hard, and one thing that Madden is concerned about, 5 innings. That's what he needs from his starter today. Again, he's coming off the disabled list, and he's been a long man out of the pen. He hasn't made a start all season long.
And Morrow continues to pitch well, riding a 3-game win streak. The Blue Jays had a blast yesterday, literally belting 8 home runs. Everyone on the bench enjoying the show. The fans were loud, and hoping for a little more of that here this afternoon as the Blue Jays look for the sweep next on Sportsnet.
Rogers Sportsnet. Brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware or home hardware building center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Well, Aaron Hill went into the All-Star break wondering why he couldn't produce the numbers he had produced all of last season. But coming out of the break, he looks a lot more like the guy we saw in 2009.
Different hitter. He is starting to hit his pitch instead of going outside the strike zone and swinging at whatever the pitcher throws up there. They were trying to go high and tight, but then up and away, breaking balls in the dirt. Well, he has laid off of that, and his numbers are going up. Especially his power numbers since the All-Star break. He has hit 6 home runs and had 12 RBIs in the game since the All-Star break.
Hill with his first multi-home run game of 2010, the third of his career, and all of that fine work yesterday was overshadowed by JP Arancibia.
Goes down and gets this fastball and throws the bat barrel right at the ball, and they try to go back inside again. He's a lot quicker inside too. The swing looks a little bit shorter. And you know he's got that great power in that bat when he swings at strikes.
Blue Jays hit 3 two-strike home runs and 3 first-pitch home runs of the 8 yesterday. For the first time all season, the Tampa Bay Rays have lost 4 straight games as Brandon Morrow gets set to take the mound for the Blue Jays. Joe Madden looking for answers and looking for that right combination to try and throw at the Blue Jays to not only stop the sweep but put an end to that 4-game losing streak. And here's what Madden will go with this afternoon. Ben Zobrist leads off and plays right field. Crawford back in the lineup for the first time in this series. Longoria and Johnson round out the top 4. Joyce, Jaso, and Upton. And then we move down to the second baseman, Reed Frignac, and batting 9th, Jason Bartlett. When you look at Longoria, he has not hit well over the last 16 games, but against the Blue Jays, he's had a lot of success.
5 RBIs, 3 doubles, and a batting average of about 400. He's always dangerous, so you always check one guy in that lineup that you don't want to have him beat, and I think it's Evan Longoria. That's the lineup that today's starter, Brandon Morrow, will face as he makes his 22nd start of the season. 8-6 record, including a stellar 6-1 record here at the Rogers Center. He won his 3rd consecutive game. His last time out, that was August 2nd in New York when he beat the Yankees 8-6. He allowed 5 runs over 5 1/3 innings. He walked 2 and struck out 9. The 3rd time this season that Brandon Morrow has struck out at least 9 batters in a game. He's got a good, powerful arm with good movement. It'll be a treat to watch him this afternoon. Defensively for Toronto this afternoon, Dwayne Wise will get the start in left field. He'll be joined by Wells and Bautista in the outfield. The inner defense has been stellar this whole series against Tampa. Today's battery, Jose Molina will get the start, as he does against Brandon Morrow. The two of them have been great together as the battery, and Dwayne Wise will start in the outfield. We've seen Fred Lewis in this series. We've seen Travis Snyder, and now we get a chance to watch Dwayne Wise, who always seems to do something on a Sunday when he gets in there and plays.
And Jose Molina gets the start. It did surprise some people after JP Arancibia's fine performance yesterday, but he's done such a good job handling Brandon Morrow that Cito Gaston could not go away from that duo. And so it'll be Molina behind the plate today and Arancibia looking on from the bench. Set to get underway here at the Rogers Center. Ben Zobrist leads it off for Tampa. Morrow deals, and Zobrist offers it the first pitch he sees, but yanks it foul to the right side. Morrow now up over 118 innings. And the Blue Jays were a little concerned about that, and so his July 21st start against Kansas City was skipped over in order to try and reel back the innings a little bit and give him a little rest.
Nothing wrong with his stuff. His stuff has been great, I think, all season long, but he's a big guy, and it's his first season of starting full time. So the Blue Jays want to be a little bit extra cautious, dial it back just a little bit, and give him a blow every now and then as he makes his way through 162 games.
He's got Zobrist in an 0-2 hole. Breaking ball just misses away. We've seen the cut fastball become a great weapon. We've seen the curveball really start to be introduced into Morrow's repertoire, and it bodes well for the young right-hander moving forward.
I love the two-seam fastball that he'll throw to the lefty. That's the breaking ball there. You were right on with that one. Good breaking ball to put away Zobrist. Let's take a look at the scouting report for Brandon Morrow. Light it up. He's #1 in the American League in Ks per 9 innings at over 10 per 9 innings pitched. So he's got the great arm. He's got that hard secondary pitches, the curveball and the slider. Those are the pitches he's been using for strikeouts. And he's starting to pull back. Tough spots, instead of trying to amp it up and throw it by the hitter, he doesn't overthrow it anymore.
So for the first time in the series, we get a look at Carl Crawford. A stretch of 14 straight games for the Rays on turf, coming from home here to the Rogers Center. Joe Maddon saying there's nothing at all wrong with Crawford. We just want to give him a couple of days to get off that turf.
He also mentioned a shoulder problem, a left shoulder problem that he has been fighting a little bit over the last couple of weeks.
Such a dangerous, dangerous threat at the top of the lineup for Joe Maddon.
I love what he says about Carl Crawford. You know, give him a couple days here, but he'll be fresh by the end of the season. He says it's like you look at those old road signs and it says temporary inconvenience but permanent improvement. So give him a little time now that he's going to be nice and fresh in September.
Morrow again had 1-2, and Crawford chases. 2 up, 2 strikeouts for Morrow.
You look for the local and you get the express. Fastball dialed on the outside part of the plate. Crawford doesn't have a chance for it. Watch where that pitch is. Right on the outer edge, and Crawford goes fishing for it for the second out.
It looked appetizing, and then it started to dart away from the left-hander, and Crawford could only put a half-hearted swing into it. Job not over here in the first as Evan Longoria steps in. Longoria has struggled of late. Last 16 games, just 3 extra base hits, but he has done some damage against the Jays over the course of this season. Have to be impressed early on with what Morrow has done. He's gotten out in front of all 3 Rays hitters with 2 strikes.
Such a key for him because his stuff is so good, and when you jump ahead like that, he's got great numbers when he's ahead in the count.
Fans appreciating the effort to this point. The 0-2 pitch, foul back by Longoria. How much tougher is it, Pat, when you know that a pitcher out there can run that fastball up 95, 98 miles per hour, knowing how good the other stuff is, and you have 2 strikes against you?
Well, you better hit the strikes, because his strikeout stuff, when we mentioned it, the best in the American League, strikeouts per 9 inning is the best. So if he gets you one, you better hit it.
This one into the dirt, and Longoria doesn't offer.
Every hitter will get at least 1 pitch to hit. Longoria's was that hanging breaking ball 0-2, and he missed it, and he knew it too. Fouled it straight back. But when you're facing a pitcher who's got electric stuff, and Brandon Morrow certainly does have electric stuff, when he gives you one to hit, you got to take advantage of it.
Longoria will look for one to hit here, 1-2, and he can't find it. Morrow goes back to the breaking ball and strikes out the side to start the game for the Jays. Wise Escobar and Bautista to come up, thanks to some fine work by Brandon Morrow. American League East at 58 and 52. Wise draws in to hit leadoff. Escobar, Bautista, and Wells. Lindhill and then Overbay in his familiar 7th spot has had some success against Andy Sonnenstein. Encarnacion and Molina round out the lineup for Blue Jays manager Cito Gaston. Andy Sonnenstein starts it off for Tampa. Misses away, and a surprise starter here for the Rays.
He's been out since July the 18th because of a strained left hamstring. He's made 30 relief appearances this season. This will be his first start coming out of the pen, just off the disabled list.
Dwayne Wise takes a big cut there to even the count at 1-1.
Sonnenstein hasn't started against the Blue Jays since 2008. In his career, he's 2-2 with an ERA of about 6 in 7 career games against him.
Oh, what a shot right back to Sonnenstein. He gets the glove on it, knocks it right off his hand, and then recovers to throw Wise out. You can't hit a ball much harder than that.
Laser to look like it got him in the glove, thankfully for Sonnenstein. Just off the DL, this could have been dangerous. Hit to his glove side by Dwayne Wise, and it got all glove. Slows it down, and then he's got the presence of mind to find the ball and then throw him out. That is scary when you're standing that close and that line drive is coming right at you.
Especially when you haven't been in a big league game since the 18th of July. And so Sonnenstein works with one out to Yunel Escobar. Blue Jays, as they often do, will be swinging early, and that should bode well against a control guy like Sonnenstein.
Yeah, it certainly should. He can mix and match and change speeds and move it around a little bit different than James Shields, who we saw in yesterday's game. Shields just couldn't find his location with his fastball.
The 0-1 to Escobar, misses down. It was interesting yesterday. I saw Jeff Neiman out for a bit of an early throwing session and a tune-up, and I thought that was somewhat odd, knowing that he was getting the start today. So I pulled him aside, asked him all these questions, getting ready for today's start, and sure enough, after the game, he's pulled with right shoulder soreness and will be skipped over at least this turn in the rotation. We saw Sonnenstein in attendance here at the ballpark yesterday, knowing that at some point with all the bullpen usage by the Rays that he most likely would be activated today.
And they have used their bullpen a lot, the Rays, over the last 10 days or so.
Sonnenstein goes to the breaking ball and misses way away. 13th round pick of the Tampa Bay Rays, going back to 2004 out of Kent State University. 2-2 to Escobar. That one inside. His first 3 years in the big leagues, he was a starter. And last year when Wade Davis was brought up, that's finally when they realized that this guy might be better served as a long man, and you're getting the start this afternoon. And Escobar draws a one-out walk.
Take a look at the scouting report for Andy Sonnenstein this afternoon. He'll sink his fastball, especially to the right-handers. He's also got a four-seam fastball, mixture of off-speed pitches. He really uses it. The cutter, he's got the slurvy slider. He's also got a superb changeup. And he'll give you different angles, and he'll give you different looks. Arm slots, he'll change speeds, he'll change his delivery. It's not about power and overpowering the hitters. It's about deception and changing of speeds for Andy Sonnenstein. I've been watching him pitch since he was in college. He went to Kent State University in Ohio and pitched in the Mid-American League. And I watched him face my son's team, and I was very impressed with him. Very knowledgeable when he's on the mound.
From 07 to 09, made 76 appearances with the Rays, 72 of those starts. Escobar with the lead, and Jose Bautista offers. Bautista hit his major league leading 34th home run yesterday. He's still 4 above the next competitor, and that would be Adam Dunn. And signs like that have started to crop up at the ballpark all season long with this great power production of Jose Bautista. He's in an 0-2 hole here. Escobar lengthens his lead. Not going anywhere, and the breaking ball misses away.
Pitchers have started to work him away now. Shields tries to go away, but this is a mistake. It's out over the plate. Just couldn't control that fastball. It's so quick on the inner half. The pitchers have been a little bit different now. They're trying to get him to fish for that breaking ball. And one good thing about that is he's been able to lay off of it.
Continues to draw a ton of walks, does Jose Bautista. 66 of them so far this year, and that's helped keep that on base percentage up over 350. So imperative here for Joe Maddon to get some length out of Andy Sonnenstein. I mean, he's only had 3 appearances with more than 50 pitches this year, but they're hoping to get 5 innings out of him. Escobar on the move. Bautista on the ground. Longoria picks it. Won't have the double play. Now Escobar challenging third. Throw to Johnson is a little late, and Escobar never stopped running. Longoria went across the diamond. Johnson retired Bautista, and Escobar slides in safely at third.
Shows you the kind of talent that Escobar has. He's going to go on the pitch, but when the ball's grounded to Longoria, he knows that that's 2 long throws that has to go across the diamond. And Escobar alertly takes a pretty good gamble here as he comes around second, sees that long throw is going to go across the diamond, and then slides ahead of the tag. Heads up play there by Escobar.
A little pause, and Longoria looked him over twice, but Escobar used that great speed and now finds himself at third with 2 out for Vernon Wells.
You know, it's one thing to have good speed, but it's another thing to know when to use it. That's a great example right there of when to use your speed. Pick up 90 more feet, maybe you can score on a wild pitch.
Chop to the right side. This could be trouble, and will it drop in? Indeed it does. Vernon Wells has an RBI bloop single to right. The Jays lead it 1-0.
Some of the Rays were talking after yesterday's game. Everything they threw up there, they were hit. And when it was hit hard, it left the ballpark. And when they didn't hit it hard, it would find holes. This time it finds a hole. Softly into no man's land down the right field line goes Vernon Wells. Just out of the reach of Dan Johnson, the first baseman, for an RBI single.
So that move by Escobar proved to be huge, as he scores from third quite easily on the bloop single from Vernon Wells. Adam Lind steps in now, 4 for 8 in the series. 15 home runs, 50 RBI, nice tidy numbers there. Sonnenstein checks Wells twice and then delivers up and away. Adam Lind got into the fun yesterday.
Pitchers try to throw him high fastballs, but when you miss and out over the plate, that's what's going to happen. Second deck home run by Lind as he gets the head of that bat too quickly for the home run.
Lind looking to do a little more damage here. The Blue Jays scored in 7 of 8 innings yesterday.
He also had a 2-run single in yesterday's game. That shot right back through the box. His RBI total now up to 50.
Cito Gaston and Dwayne Murphy have talked about it all season long. Averages don't concern us nearly as much as production. Sonnenstein checks Wells, but he slides in safely. I think the same, Pat, can be said about Aaron Hill. And his numbers really starting to climb. 18 home runs, 45 driven in for Hill. Pitch to Lind, just pulled into foul territory where Dan Johnson is there to pick it up. 20 pitches now thrown by Sonnenstein. And Pat, the last his longest outing of the season, you have to go back to June 18th against the Florida Marlins, in which he went 4 2/3 in that game. But other than that, working mostly as a middle type reliever with some long appearances mixed in. Sonnenstein sets and deals. Lind goes back up the middle, but Bartlett is there, well positioned to complete the inning. But the Blue Jays do a little damage thanks to some fine base running by Yunel Escobar. Toronto leads it 1-0 through 1 here in Toronto. Major League debut, and he got a little help from his friends.
The bats that he was using was, well, why not? There's a lot of home runs in the bats of Jose Bautista. And he was using the batting gloves
of Vernon Wells.
Vernon Wells.
Well, I know one thing. Usually big league wood is a little better than minor league wood. And I don't know about the leather on the gloves, but maybe it holds true there as well.
He was talking to the home plate umpire yesterday, and the umpire, Mark Carlson, yesterday was saying, boy, you've had a great game. And JP says, where am I going to go from here? I mean, you can't get any better than what he did yesterday, can you?
I'll tell you where he goes, right to the bench. Cito Gaston really favoring that battery with Molina catching Morrow. Those two have worked so well together all season long that Aaron Sebia gets the day off, but is expected to play quite a bit here, filling in for John Buck. 3-0 pitch to Johnson. Misses low, and it's a leadoff walk here for Tampa.
You can win an all-new Honda CRZ and other great prizes when you vote for the Honda Play of the Month. Vote today at BlueJays.com.
Matt Joyce steps in with Johnson on at first. The Blue Jays struck once in the bottom half of the first inning. Bloop RBI single by Vernon Wells. The Blue Jays have now scored in 8 of their last 9 innings. Popped high in the air. I don't know if it's going to hit the A-ring here. Wait a second. This isn't Tampa Bay. And Escobar comes across, but Overbase steals it away. So no O-ring involvement here.
Escobar a little bit too excited about that pop-up coming all the way from shortstop. But have a little fun with it. That's when you say, hey, let the sure man have it right there.
Yeah. Hey, young guy, back off. I'm the veteran here in Toronto. I'll take that. Thank you very much. A couple of first basemen having words. John Jaso. Strike one from Morrow. He did that very well in the first inning, striking out the side. Zobrist, Crawford, and Longoria. To the left side, Edwin Encarnacion over and still in foul territory. Makes the catch. 2 down.
right in on his hands. You know, when you watch Brandon Morrow from the first day to where he is now, as a baseball guy, it's amazing to see how much he has improved. Do you remember his first start in Baltimore?
It was all over the place. 5
walks or something like that in the first inning. But now you watch him, and it's like, okay, now I'm going to throw this pitch in this situation, and this is where I'm going to throw it. I don't think you could say that about Brandon Morrow when the season started. But he's got such a good arm, and he wants to learn. He wants to get better. Now you're starting to see him pitch and use his stuff.
Yeah, it's a two-pronged development for me. You look at a much more repeatable delivery than we saw early in the season, and now you're using that delivery to command all of your repertoire and add that good arm to a guy being able to pitch, and that's a dangerous combination.
It certainly is. You have that ability to throw pitches over for strikes. Bruce Walton, the pitching coach of the Blue Jays, is very big on, hey, let's get ahead with maybe a breaking ball. You don't have to pour a fastball in there the first pitch to set up hitters.
Upton behind 0-2. 2 down. Johnson on first. Pitch from Morrow just inside. 96 miles per hour from Morrow.
You know, Bruce has been such a big factor for Morrow this year, talking to him about, you know, using all of your pitches and how to use them and when to use them. And it really shows in the improvement of the young right-hander.
Breaking ball, and Upton almost hit that one out of the glove. Way off, almost over that raised dugout. He's smiling too.
He knows about those emergency hacks, right?
It worked. He's still in there. One-two to Upton. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 4th strikeout of the game from Brandon Morrow. He strands a leadoff walk. Thanks to this fine pitch here to get B.J. Upton. Toronto hits in today's game. You could win Sharp Aquos products, including a new HD Quatron TV and Blu-ray player. Enter online and hit a home run with Sharp.ca. Sharp Aquos with Quatron technology. You have to see it to see it. Aaron Hill to the right side, then Johnson into foul territory. One pitch, one out for Sonnenstein.
That'll certainly help Andy Sonnenstein. Joe Madden was talking about the game and what he is expecting from his starting pitcher today. And they said if he is able to be pitch effective and pitch efficient, which he can be, Sonnenstein's that kind of guy, you'd love to get 5 innings out of him. But Joe says he's not going to force 5 innings on him. He's going to watch his pitch count, watch his stuff, and get him through this start. 21 pitches in the first inning, though, for Andy Sonnenstein.
Now faces Lyle Overbay after a 1-pitch out to Aaron Hill. Overbay has had some success against Sonnenstein. 4 for 7. including a couple of doubles. This one hit to the left side. Longoria is there. Good long strong throw across the diamond to retire Overbay.
It's a good defensive team. The Tampa Bay Rays now 4th in the American League in fielding percentage, just behind the Blue Jays. Here's how they'll line up. Crawford back in the lineup, probably the best left fielder defensively in the American League. Longoria, Bartlett is very good on the left side. Brignac and Johnson on the right side. John Jaso, the catcher this afternoon, and Longoria, don't hit it to him because it's going to be an out. I mean, he is that good, the Gold Glover.
Just amazing over there at third. Saw a little piece on his work on the MLB network when we were in New York, and he goes out there a couple of times a week and will just get down on his knees and worry about using his hands and keeping soft hands. Pitch up and into Encarnacion. And what that does is he's so good with his footwork that he feels he doesn't want to have his hands lag behind, and so he works so hard in that part of the game, and then he's able to put good footwork and the hands together when he goes out to take fungos during regular batting practice.
When you take ground balls on your knees like that, it makes you stay over the ball, and it makes you have to get down, and you've got to watch how the ball is bouncing to you. You combine that with good footwork and the soft hands that he has, you can see why he makes it look so easy.
It never hurts to have a cannon for an arm. And what he'll do with that glove is a lot of times you'll see the infielders wear out the top part of the glove. The 3-1 goes to Encarnacion, lifted into center field. Routine fly ball for B.J. Upton. We'll talk more about Longoria as this game continues. But Sonnenstein makes quick work of the Blue Jays here in the bottom of the second. A 24-hour digital sports channel featuring the Jays, Major League Baseball, Barclays Premier League, NBA, Raptors, and a whole lot more. Rogers Sportsnet 1 coming your way August 14th. Top of the third at the Rogers Center. The Blue Jays lead the Rays 1-0 on an Vernon Hills RBI single in the first. Brandon Morrow, 1 over the minimum through 2 innings with 4 strikeouts. Brignac shows bunt, takes it for a strike. Well, 1 from Morrow inside, and it's very early, it's 2 innings in, but he really looks like the command is there today for Morrow. The fastball is there, and he can run it up there over the mid-90s if he needs to.
Well, everything's around the plate. That's the first thing you notice, how free and easy the ball's coming out of his hand, and everything is around the plate. We haven't seen balls fly out of here, fly up there, up out of the strike zone. It's keeping things down. and that is certainly a good sign.
And continues to work ahead of these Rays hitters. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 5 strikeouts in the afternoon for Morrow.
All 5 of them swinging. This is number 5, and he does it with that nifty breaking ball. Watch the location and where it is. As a hitter, that looks like it's going to be about belt high, and then just drops right down to the knees.
Move to the 9-hole in the Tampa order for Jason Bartlett. Bartlett had a couple of knocks in yesterday's game, his first multi-hit game since the 24th of July. And once again, Morrow out in front. Bartlett able to get a piece. And the early returns are with JP Arancibia's fine day yesterday, but this Morrow-Molina thing working so well. The early return's pretty good with Molina back there.
Cito Gaston not wanting to mess with success. And the two of them have worked very well together.
0-2. Jams Bartlett, Encarnacion in. It's a throw wide, but Overbay's so good around the bag, he's able to stretch it out and retire Bartlett. The Blue Jays have won 10 of their last 11 games against American League East Division foes. Goes back to last homestand with a sweep of the Baltimore Orioles and a couple games against the Yankees, winning 2 out of 3 in New York, and coming back here to the Rogers Center, winning the first 2 games of this series against Tampa. Count even 1-1 to Ben Zobrist, who such a valuable player for Joe Madden. Hits all over the lineup. He's a natural shortstop, but has seen some time at second and at first, out in right field here again this afternoon.
And he has hit all over the lineup for Joe Madden's Tampa Rays. Anywhere from 1 to 7 in the batting order, including 24 games as a leadoff hitter. He has that ability to lead off. He's got some good speed, and the Rays have won when he's been a leadoff hitter. 16-8 record. So they put him back in there this afternoon.
Joe Madden looking for a little mojo. Good pitch from Morrow. Another strikeout for Brandon Morrow as Zobrist is caught looking. 6 strikeouts through 3 for Morrow.
The Jays on Rogers Sportsnet. Brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware or home hardware building center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Roof closed here at the Rogers Center on this Sunday afternoon. Sam Cosentino and Pat Tabler, along with Sportsnet.ca columnist Scott Carson up in the booth. A busy man, to say the least, with all of the historic news coming out of yesterday's Major League debut of JP Arancibia.
We got more stats up here, papers full of the stats and everything than what we saw yesterday.
Jose Molina, left field. He's giving it a ride. Right to the track it goes. And Molina gave the fans here a bit of a rise, but it was caught on the track as Crawford chased it down.
Well, they scored 11 runs yesterday, but still lost the game. And one of the things they tried to do yesterday, the Tampa Bay Rays, take all the bats out of the bat rack, throw them on the ground, and let's see if we can mix and match and see what happens. It worked. Maybe they need to do something on the pitching end, because that did not work yesterday.
Back to the top of the order for Dwayne Wise. Well, the Rays' 11 runs scored in yesterday's game is the most in franchise history in a losing cause. Pounded out 9 hits as well, so seemingly have gotten that part figured out, at least yesterday. Although Brandon Morrow should provide formidable opposition based on his first 3 innings so far.
First time all year the Jays have given up 11 runs and won a game. So a little bit of everything yesterday.
There sure was. And the fans were loving it here. It was a crowd of almost 25,000 on hand to witness an 8-home run performance. Too shy of the Major League record set by the Blue Jays on September 14th, 1987 at the X against Baltimore. 0-2 to Wise. He goes back up the middle again. This time Sonnenstein won't get it. Neither will anybody else. And Wise is aboard here with a 1-out single.
You can win an all-new Honda CRZ and other great prizes when you vote for the Honda Play of the Month. Vote today at BlueJays.com.
Yunel Escobar with 1 out and Dwayne Wise on first. I mean, he smoked the ball in the first inning right back at Sonnenstein. Hit him right in the glove, and he was able to get the speedy Wise.
Robbed of a hit that time, but this time a 5-hopper right back through the middle for a hit. Now a chance for Cito Gaston to do something here. Looked like Dwayne Wise was leaning on that one. You know, Escobar has only struck out 9 times in 81 at bats since coming over from Atlanta. Cito was telling us a little bit ago that with him hitting second, he doesn't strike out a lot. I can do a lot of things. He can bunt, he can hit and run, he'll take a pitch, whatever you need him to do. He has really fit in nicely in a number 2 slot.
He's one of those guys who really is a throwback in terms that he can bunt not just to sacrifice a guy and show early and move a guy over, but he uses it as a weapon to get on base. The old bunt for a base hit. So Longoria having to respect that at least a little bit, as Wise remains on at first. It was Escobar's fine and heads-up running play in the first inning that allowed the Blue Jays to get on the board. Jose Bautista grounded a ball deep to third where Longoria had to go across the diamond. Escobar was on the move on the pitch, paused for a short time at second, and continued to third as Longoria threw over to first. And then a bloop base hit that Escobar may not have scored on had he not been at third. Escobar through the left side. There it is, Pat. You called it to a T. Tough guy to strike out. And the Blue Jays have 2 aboard with 1 out.
And if you make a mistake, you can rip the ball for extra bases. Middle infielders a little bit closer at double play depth. So there's a little bit bigger hole on the left side, and he rips it right through it. No chance for Bartlett to pick that one up. Now you've got some speed on the bases. And you've got your RBI men coming up.
Pretty good guy to have up in this situation, Jose Bautista. 34 home runs, 85 runs driven in. First pitch from Sonnenstein misses low and away. The average up to 261 for Bautista now. Big cut there, and Sonnenstein took a little off.
That's what he can do. Fastball counts. He can spin breaking balls. We talked about his mixture of off-speed pitches. He can cut the ball. He's got the slurvy slider, which is a cross between the curveball and the slider, and he's got a great changeup. So it's not all about fastball.
Bautista has hit .296 with runners in scoring position this year. 8 of his home runs have been hit in this very situation. Wise well off the bag at second. Sonnenstein delivers, and a good job by Jaso. Bautista has been on fire since the All-Star break. I mean, really all season long, but the average really starting to climb since the break. Sonnenstein sets, Wise bluffs, and it goes in the dirt again, and another good job by Jaso.
Boy, I've been watching these two base runners, and they keep getting a little bit further on every one of these pitches, like they want to try and get some movement going. Huge lead over at first base by Escobar. Dwayne Wise is starting to get both feet on the turf.
Wise a little antsy over there, not going anywhere. Bautista to Longoria will touch the bag and go across the diamond. Good pick by Johnson for the double play. Evan Longoria so smooth over there, and he gets Sonnenstein out of a jam. Pick into the bag across the diamond. Blue Jays strand another. Ever forget. Yes, here he is, folks, once again joining us here from the TD Canada Trust Comfort Zone, Joe Carter.
Sudden Sam, how's it going, buddy?
Doing well. Does it ever get old looking at that, the old home run? We can see it. I know you can't, but
no, you know what? It never gets old, Sam. You know, it's something that will live in the folklores of baseball forever, and I'm happy to be the recipient of that proud moment.
Joe, what brings you to town, buddy?
Well, the Jays Care golf tournament tomorrow. So I've got to go out there and see what I can do on the golf course again. And plus, you know me, Tabby, I love to play golf, and you know, it's just an excuse for me to go out here and play a little bit more golf. So I got Jordan with me, my son. So we're gonna go out there tomorrow and hit some long balls.
Can I get in your group? Because I want to win. I want to win.
Hey, we'll hit it the farthest, that's for sure.
Carl Crawford leads it off for Tampa here in the top of the fourth inning. The Jays up 1-0. Joe Carter joins us from the TD Canada Trust Comfort Zone. And Joe, you were here earlier this year for your own tournament. How did that go?
Well, I tell you what, Sam, we had a great time. We had a great crowd that come out as far as the celebrities with Charles Barkley, Kenny Lofton, Jamal McGlure, Perdita Felician. I mean, it was a great time. It had a little rain at the end, but that didn't put a damper on the money that we raised for the Children's Aid Foundation. So all in all, it was a great turnout, and next year we're looking to do bigger and better. Believe me.
Any idea what you're going to be doing next year? What time or anything? Any particulars?
Well, we like the time frame we had this year, and that's towards that last week of June. We've got to wait till the Blue Jays schedule comes out so we can see exactly when they're going to, what days they're going to be playing. Make sure they're here in town so we can coordinate it with with the Blue Jays game like we did this past June. So the guys like that, and we'll continue to do that. But I like that June time frame. That seems to be a pretty good slot.
What about Barkley? Did we get him back?
Oh yeah, you know what, Barkley. Sam, the thing is about Charles. He said that Toronto was one of the 10 best cities in all the world, and I agree with him. And all I do is ask him once, "Will you be here?" And he said, "Yes, I'll be there in Toronto." Because as long as I have in Toronto, he'll be back. And plus, Barkley is now playing left-handed.
Oh boy!
But you know what? In Tahoe, he played left-handed, and he did not have the hitch.
Really?
Yes. And so Hank Haney is working with him, and he says by this time next year he'll have Charles down to at least an 18 handicap playing left-handed.
Wow. Bogey golf.
What are you at these days?
I'm at a 2 right now.
2.
So, yeah.
That's why I want to be in your group.
Retirement must be nice.
Joe, I know you're a huge baseball fan and you watch it all the time. What was your take on JP Arancibia yesterday?
You know what? It's all downhill from here. Because, I mean, you come up and your first pitch, you hit ninth and your first pitch home run. 2 home runs in your first game. You couldn't ask for a better start. But now all of a sudden, the new guys, when you come up, now everybody knows about JP now. So you didn't want to make too big a splash, but if you're going to make a splash, make it that way. He did a great job yesterday.
7th strikeout of the afternoon as Carl Crawford goes down swinging. Morrow on fire here to start this game. Sam Cosentino and Pat Tabler with you up in the booth. Joe Carter joining us from the TD Canada Trust Comfort Zone. Joe, do you remember your debut?
Yes, I do.
Anything like that?
No, I didn't get a hit until my 3rd game. But I came up against the Philadelphia Phillies. I flew in, came in as it was a doubleheader. I came in part of the first game, and as soon as I got dressed, I came in the field. They put me in a game to pinch run.
Evan Longoria lifts this ball to deep center field. Vernon Wells going back. He's at the track and calls it in. When you look at this Blue Jays team, Joe, and you see all the home runs being hit, what are your thoughts about how this offense is set up and what Cito Gaston has meant with Dwayne Murphy to the lineup?
Well, the thing is, you go with what's your team. Your team has an identity. This team is not going to steal a lot of bases. They're not going to base hit you to death. What they're going to do is hit the home runs. And so when you have a lot of home runs being hit, all of a sudden all the hitters say, hey, this guy can do it, I can do it. So confidence breeds the confidence. And so now you saw that yesterday with 8 home runs. Once you get 3 or 4 guys hitting home runs with Batista knocking the ball out of the ballpark, Vernon Wells, then all of a sudden everybody feels they can do that. Now, you got to be careful because sometimes you go up there looking for the home run and over a course of 660 at-bats, you may look for a home run, and it may happen once every 500 at-bats. So you got to be careful. But right now, they're very confident, and this is the makeup of this ball club. It's a home run-hitting ball club.
Can you teach a guy how to hit a home run, Joe?
Can you teach a guy how to hit a home run? No, I don't think you can teach a guy how to hit a home run. What you do, because home runs come off accidents. When the pitcher hits doesn't hit their spots, hang a breaking ball, or doesn't get the fastball far enough in, it's always going to be a mistake pitch. Very rarely do you see a great pitch and the guy hit it out. I think one of the guys told me, Bob Gibson told me that when he made a bad pitch and you hit it out, that was his fault. But if he threw a good pitch and you hit it out, that was your fault. He would let you know the next time up.
What did Cito mean to you as a hitter?
Well, see, the thing about Cito is people see him over on the bench and see him very relaxed and says he's not managing, but that is so far from the truth, because you want to have confidence and you want to instill confidence in your players. And you don't want them looking over their back saying, if I make an out here, if I don't come from the situation, will he take me out? The thing about Cito is he says, hey, we got you here. You go play. A prime example is Devon White. In Anaheim, they wanted Debo to take more pitches. They want him to be the great leadoff hitter with the on-base percentage. That wasn't Devon. And when he came here, Cito said, look, you only lead off once a game, and that's it. After that, you just follow your turn in the rotation. He says, I don't want you to be taking pitches. I want you to be the player that you are, what got you here at the big leagues. And when a manager does that, then he's letting you play. And so you have confidence in him because he's showing confidence in you.
Full count pitch to Johnson here with 2 down in the 4th. And another foul back with he and Crawford running up that pitch count. Morrow at 54 pitches now. Joe Carter is with us. We'll play in the Jays Care Foundation golf tournament tomorrow. Any other business in the Toronto area, Joe?
No, not right now in the Toronto area, but now that all the kids are kind of out of the house, well, I thought they were out of the house, they seem to come back.
Well, Joe, thanks for joining us. Johnson with the strikeout. That's 8 for Brandon Morrow. Joe, we'll see you tomorrow at the golf course. Thanks for being on.
All right, you bet you, Sam. Tabby, have a good one.
Joe.
All right.
Through 3.5, the Jays lead it 1-0 over Tampa. Someone will win a 40-inch Sharp Aquos Quatron TV Plus Blu-ray player. Quatron, it's 4 colors, not 3. To enter, visit hitahomerunwithsharp.ca. That's hitahomerunwithsharp.ca. Saw a few Blu-ray players and Quatron TVs flying out of this place yesterday. No home runs so far in this afternoon's affair, but the Blue Jays do lead it 1-0 into the bottom of the 4th. Vernon Wells responsible for that 1-0 lead. Little bloop single to right field. With 2 outs in the 1st inning, brought home Yunel Escobar. Blue Jays have taken the first 2 games of this series, and significant in that the Jays had lost 9 straight series to Tampa. Good cut there by Wells.
And they've lost them in like heartbreaking fashion, some of those games. They played them here, and I believe they scored 5 runs in the 8th inning after they had a big lead. Comeback wins. They would snatch some wins from the Blue Jays, and those are tough to come back from.
Breaking ball in the dirt. June 2nd game, a 6-1 win for Tampa. Carl Crawford hit a grand slam in what was a 6-run 9th. Blue Jays leading 2-1 at that point, and it didn't go their way. Wells rather connects to center field. B.J. Upton trots over to his left. 2 down.
Well, if you're going to win, you've got to play some tough competition in the American League East, and the Rays have done great playing within the division. 27-16. The Yankees, Blue Jays have hung in there nicely. Thank you very much. Playing in the American League East. Some heavyweights in this division. You have to play well within your division if you have any hopes of trying to win it.
And you have to play well against the teams that you feel you have a chance to beat. The Blue Jays 12-0 against Baltimore, and that has really helped elevate that record in the American League East. Boston Red Sox come into town after an off day tomorrow. 3-game series. The Blue Jays hope to have continued success against AL East Division foes.
How about the year the Red Sox are having? I'm not talking about their wins and losses. I'm pretty impressed. Yeah.
Pitch to Lind, sounded hollow coming off the bat. Johnson dives. Sonnenstein over to cover, and a good play by the Rays first baseman for the second out.
Nice play by Johnson to pick up the second out here. After an off day tomorrow, the Sox come to town. These are the probables that we will see starting on Tuesday. Daisuke Matsusaka versus Ricky Romero. That's going to be a good one. Buchholz and Markham on Wednesday. Look at those records and ERAs. Fantastic. And then Lackey and Cecil. There are always good games when these teams match up.
And the Red Sox just continue to find ways despite injuries, signing former Blue Jay Carlos Delgado to a minor league deal. Isn't that interesting?
Any chance? I mean, is there any chance that he would be here?
Probably not for this series, but when the Blue Jays go there on the 19th or 20th of the month, there's a pretty good chance you'll see him then. That's going to be weird for me.
Yeah. You grew up with Carlos.
I sure did. Aaron Hill on the ground, and the vacuum is there. Made it close, but Longoria half step ahead of Aaron Hill. The Blue Jays go down in order in the fourth. The Jays take on the Red Sox at Fenway Park. Prize includes airfare, hotel accommodations, $1,000 in spending money, and a meet and greet on the field. For your chance to win, enter at BlueJays.com.
And if you've never been to Fenway Park, you've got to get into it because it's a special place.
Yeah, it sure is. And as a fan, I appreciate it a lot more as a fan than I do as someone who works there. That's for sure. It just seems that it's okay to be crammed when you're a fan, not so much when you're working. Brandon Morrow has been spectacular to this point for the Blue Jays. Through 4 innings, faced 1 over the minimum. That's a leadoff walk to Dan Johnson in the second. 8 strikeouts on the afternoon so far.
That's the pitch, the one we just saw there to a left there that he did not have at the beginning of the season. A pitch to a left-hander. Fastball. That's in. There's another breaking ball in where they take it. Morrow is dealing. He's got 4 pitchers that he can throw over at any time right now, and he and Molina are working well together. Shows him the fastball in the inner half for strike 2, and then drops the curveball for strike 3.
And a tough go for Joyce in this series. And even extending before that, 0 for 17 now with 9 strikeouts. Mired in a bit of a slump there. John Jaso pitch inside from Morrow. Morrow has pitched extremely well here at the Rogers Center. In his 10 starts here at home, he's 6-1 with a 3.25 ERA. Good pitch there to paint the black. I like his rhythm right now.
Free and easy, confident. You don't see him shaking off there. There's one there. Molina, they're working well together in a nice groove. Just watch some of the swings that we have seen from some of the Tampa Bay Ray batters. Looking for a curveball, and he throws a fastball, and vice versa. Some of their swings haven't been picture perfect.
And once again, Morrow finds himself ahead of a Rays hitter. They count 1-2. Morrow works. Hit in the air. Coming in from left field is Dwayne Wise. And there are 2 down.
You could win an all-new Honda CRZ and other great prizes when you vote for the Honda Play of the Month. Vote today at BlueJays.com.
With 2 down, we move down to the 7th spot in the Tampa order to find B.J. Upton. Upton has had a lot of success in his last 8 games, hitting .333. 0 for 1 in this game, and Morrow, as usual, starts him off with a strike. Pat, you talk about that combination with Morrow and Molina. It really started back around the end of April, the start of May, where these two got together, worked out so well.
I remember the start in Tampa with Morrow and Molina were together, and Brandon was walking guys, and Molina would help him out by throwing them out trying to steal. But ever since then, that was right around the end of April, they've been together, and they have worked great.
Cito Gaston has said all year he's been very cautious, saying that, hey, this is my personal catcher for Morrow, but hard to deny the results. Popped up towards the middle of the infield. Everyone converges, but it'll be Lyle Overbay that takes charge. And that's it. A relatively easy inning for Brandon Morrow. He has 9 strikeouts in the afternoon. Here at the Rogers Center Saturday, August 28th against the Detroit Tigers. 107 is first pitch. Visit Gate 11 and check out the interactive zone. And yes, those 14 and under can run the bases after the game. Tickets at 416-341-1234, BlueJays.com, or most Rogers Plus locations. Bottom of the 5th inning here at the Rogers Center. Sam Cosentino alongside Pat Tabler, Scott Carson, Sportsnet TBA.ca columnist, joining us up here in the booth. A bit of a muggy afternoon with the roof closed as Overbay goes right back up the middle. Sonnenstein, a good fielder, makes the first out of the inning.
Showing some good reactions. One, the ball caught him, but he's a good athlete.
Numbers starting to rise for Edwin Encarnacion as well. He is 0 for 1 on the day. Encarnacion has the average up to 251. To left field, Carl Crawford so smooth and chases it down. 2 outs, and this is working really well for Sonnenstein right now, getting those quick outs.
Pitch efficient. That's what they are looking for Andy Sonnenstein this afternoon, hoping for 5 innings. He had 21 in the first inning, 8 in the second, so a little bit smoother sailing now for him. He hasn't started a major league game since September 16th. And he hasn't pitched more than 4 innings since June the 18th. So this is good signs for the Rays as he pitches into the 5th inning.
Pitch count at 58 now for Sonnenstein. Yesterday, Lance Cormier was held back in that Rays bullpen, knowing that Sonnenstein's limit may be in that 70 or 80 pitch range. But he has pitched extremely well to this point. He's allowed just 3 hits and the 1 run. And if it wasn't for a fine base running play by Yunel Escobar, this thing still would be knotted at 0. Jose Molina had a long flyout that Carl Crawford ran down in that left center field gap in the 3rd inning. All 4 of his home runs have come in the last 11 games he's played. Sonnenstein, the 1-2. Misses away. Sonnenstein gives a lot of credit to former Jays catcher Greg Zahn. The 2 worked together last year. Felt that his execution and pitch selection was really helped out by that veteran presence that Zahn provides. 2-2 misses away. And interesting, Pat, that while in the minor leagues, Sonnenstein tinkered around with his changeup grip and was helped out by former Jay Xavier Hernandez, a pitching coach at that time in the Rays minor league system.
That's when he was, I believe, in AA, down in the Orlando area, I believe, and they helped him become a pitcher that could get to the next level by adding another pitch. But he falls behind Molina and ends up walking him. First base runner for the Blue Jays since Escobar's single in the 3rd inning.
Back to the top of the order for Dwayne Wise, who's 1 for 2 on the afternoon. A hard hit ball to lead off the game, and Sonnenstein was lucky to get his glove on it, knock it down, and throw Wise out. Wise was not to be denied. In the 3rd, he went right back up the middle, this time getting it by Sonnenstein. And here he is for the 3rd time this afternoon.
Dan Johnson electing to play behind Jose Molina to close off that gap on the right side of the infield.
Good cut from Wise, who's now behind 0-2. Hit on the ground, and Johnson perfectly placed. Touches the bag, but it's called foul. He tried to pounce on it quickly, just couldn't get there in time.
It's not where the ball lands, it's where it goes over the base. That is first base umpire Larry Vadover all over that one. That's why you play behind the runner. You want to play in front of him now, just so a ball like that can't get by you.
Molina having fun with Johnson over there at first, trying to distract him a little bit.
He's actually acting like he's going to try and steal a base. There he goes.
And he might have it stolen. He does. It was all fun and games for Molina over at first. Got that running lead, and he doesn't even have to slide.
You ever seen a guy get a standing ovation for a stolen base?
Well, there it is.
A running start. He is halfway there before the catcher, Jaso, could even catch the ball. And steals it standing up. Number 1 on the season.
Not a huge surprise. Hey, he's got 10 in his career. 1-2 for Wise. Molina well off the bag at second now. What a great addition he's been. He and John Buck back there have just been unbelievable for this inexperienced and at times young Jays starting rotation. Very active in the pitcher-catcher meetings before the series starts, and then the individual meetings with the pitcher of that day and Bruce Walton before games. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 out for Dwayne Wise with Molina on at second. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Molina's stolen base goes all for naught as Dwayne Wise strikes out to end the inning. Blue Jays to continue to cling to a 1-0 lead. You've only seen this 10 times in his career. A stolen base by Jose Molina.
Another good pitching duel between these two teams. Both of them now through 5 innings. They have arrived there in different ways. Morrow's given up just 1 base runner and 9 strikeouts. Sonnenstein 3 hits, the 1 run in the first inning, and he's clamped and shut the door since. He picks up just his first strikeout, the last batter.
Great job by Sonnenstein coming in to pitch for Jeff Neiman, who was today's scheduled starter. Brandon Morrow once again ahead 0-2. He is really confused and kept those Rays hitters off balance in this game.
134 strikeouts coming into this game, which ties him for 7th in the AL. And he's looking to go in double figures already for the first time this season.
So comfortable on this Rogers Center mound. 19 walks in the 61 innings coming into this game. He has issued 1 walk through 5 complete to this point. So 20 walks, 66 innings here at the Rogers Center for Brandon Morrow. Brignac now trying to disrupt the timing a little bit. Anything he can do to try and find a way to solve Brandon Morrow. The 0-2 pitch. Fouled off by Brignac. Pat, you get into this situation as a hitter, you've seen great rhythm, you've seen 4 great pitches. What do you do here?
Well, again, what we were talking about early, he's got his A game today, obviously. So when he makes a mistake, you have to take advantage of it. If not, he's going to be dealing on you. That 0-2 pitch caught way too much of the plate. Bring that, all he could do with it was just foul it back. So you've got to be able to take advantage when he makes a mistake. The other thing you could do is start eliminating pitches and see if you can come up with a pattern.
In the dirt, Molina will gather it, step to the inside, throw hard down to Lyle Overbay to complete the strikeout, number 10 on the afternoon.
But you know what? That's the thing that I can't figure out as I'm watching Morrow. He doesn't have a pattern. He and Molina are working so well. He's using the breaking ball early in the count, the middle part of the count. He's also using it late in the count to strike out batters, that time in the dirt. For number 10, the first time he has gone double figures in strikeouts in a game in his career. And we're only in the 6th inning.
Quite the performance so far by Brandon Morrow. Jason Bartlett steps in. He's 0 for 1 in the afternoon. Pat, we saw Brignac step out a couple of times. Is that a ploy, something you might do to try and disrupt the timing?
You're not going to do that to a big leaguer. You know, you might see that on young kids or something like that, but a guy who's been around the big league, that doesn't bother me. You know, you want to get into a rhythm, but when you're focused and you're in your groove, what Morrow is, a guy stepping out's not going to bother you. No.
Head 1-2 on Bartlett now. I can't think of a hitter in this game where Morrow has been behind, and I can't think of a 3-ball count to this point.
Johnson leading off the 2nd inning.
Walk.
4-pitch walk.
4-pitch walk.
He has done it 4 times before today, struck out 9. Well, the 10 today is now a career high. The last time he struck out 9 batters was the last time he took the mound against the Yankees, and he's won up that already.
1-2 pitch. But other than Johnson, that 4-pitch walk, I think that's it.
Yeah.
He's been ahead of everyone with 2 strikes. He's been 1-2, 0-2, never worse than 2-2. And he continues to hold a 1-2 count on Bartlett. It hit him or got part of the bat? No, they're going to say it hit him.
Well, did you see the reaction from Bartlett? He didn't even move. And I think Jose Molina's got a beef here.
And I think the other thing is when you're throwing it that hard, I mean, you're not going to walk down to first base not at all feeling it.
Cito Gaston is going to ask for some help. This is where some replay would really help, I think. Bartlett's reaction didn't look like it. Watch this. This is our high home shot. Definitely off the bat.
That's barrel. It got barrel.
Definitely off the bat.
It didn't even, I mean, it got barrel of the bat. Not like jammed or down near the hands. That got barrel.
And his reaction, when you get hit, you usually start towards first base because you know. Let's see from this angle if you could tell. Not even close. That's off the bat.
Now, if it hits his hand that hard and ricochets, you're telling me he's not going to be hurt?
Yeah, or jumping around and things like that.
And it looks like they're going to change the call. They're going to bring Bartlett back into the box.
The whole thing in baseball is you got to get it right. That's the main thing. You've got to get it right. And that one wasn't even close.
Yeah, and this might get heated here. And there are a couple of reasons why. The Rays have lost 4 straight. They've been struggling getting runners on base. They've been struggling at the plate, and scoring runs has been an issue. Every base runner the Rays can put on right now is meaningful, especially against Morrow, who has been so tough here this afternoon. So Madden and Kellogg will have an extended discussion here.
Well, you know what Joe Madden is saying to him is, look, if you called it off of his hand, you obviously saw it off of his hand. And he's like, if that's what you're calling, why are you changing it? I think an umpire, a home plate umpire, can say, I didn't see it. Give me some help. And that's when you go back to the base umpires. But he came out right away and said hit him on the hand. He actually showed that it hit him on the hand. Obviously, the replay showed that it hit the barrel of the bat.
It would have hurt too much for him just to walk down there and not even shaking the hand or anything.
I look at the reaction from Jason Bartlett after he got hit. If he got hit in the shoulder or if he got it in the hand, he's kind of stood around home plate and was waiting to hear what the umpire was going to say.
He didn't sell it very well.
No, he didn't sell it. Didn't move towards first base. Here's another thing. You're talking about stepping out or four corners offense or slowing the pace of the pitcher. Brandon Morrow's just standing on the mound, hands on hips.
He did throw a couple of warm-up pitches. Larry Vanover has come down to join the argument with Jeff Kellogg, the home plate umpire, but Joe Madden not leaving very quickly. Let's take you back to the pitching question.
Watch the reaction from Jason Bartlett. He doesn't even move. He actually turns like he's going to still hit, and they said, I think it hit you. And he go, oh, okay, I'll take first base.
And then he shakes the hand afterwards.
Yeah.
What a deke. Well, it won't matter because he struck out anyhow. Number 11 for Morrow. I'm going to take you back to the masterful work by Brandon Morrow on Ben Zobrist last time up in the third.
Well, pitch sequence is so important. And if you're able to throw pitches all over the place, you're going to end up with the strikeouts that you are getting. So Zobrist, the last time up, struck out. He struck out his first 2 times up.
First pitch swing. This one is hit a ton to center field. Vernon Wells on his horse. Vernon Wells up against the wall, and what a catch by the Jays center fielder. Complete and utter robbery of Ben Zobrist.
Not to be denied, Vernon Wells in center field on the crack of the bat. He is running full speed. When your pitcher is throwing this kind of game, you got to give up your body. And he does as he crashes into the wall to take away a base hit away from Zobrist. What a catch by Vernon Wells.
Morrow continues to get fine support, and he can't believe it himself. What a catch by Vernon Wells to end the top half of the 6th. Welcome back to the Rogers Center for the bottom of the 6th inning. The Blue Jays up 1-0 with Yunel Escobar offering at the first pitch. Bartlett takes care of him. Commentator clothing provided in part by Z Xenia. Statistical information provided by StatsInc, and the music provided by Universal Canada. Jose Bautista steps into the box, and stepping into the on-deck circle is Travis Snyder. as Vernon Wells limped off the field after that marvelous catch to end the top half of the 6th inning. Bautista 0 for 2 on the afternoon.
We'll have to get the call what the problem is, but when your pitcher is throwing the type of game that you see today, you've got to give up your body to make that catch. It's one of the best that I've ever seen this season.
I agree. Wells, he so often just looks so calm and cool, you know, drifting over the balls left to his right. There he had to get on his horse.
Yeah,
he got a great jump on that ball, and he went all out.
He knew that ball was smoked by Zobrist, and it was extra bases if he didn't get to it.
Sonnenstein continues to work efficiently for the Rays. Which misses away at Bautista to even the count at 2-2. Sonnenstein yeoman's work here this afternoon. It was discovered yesterday that Jeff Neiman would not make this start as scheduled, experiencing soreness in his right shoulder. And up until today, Sonnenstein on the disabled list, dating back to the 23rd of July, with left hamstring issue. An inning and a third of rehab appearance. And here he is making the start and doing a fine job for Joe Madden this afternoon.
That inning and a third was on Thursday down in Single A Charlotte. He has gone longer than 3 innings only 3 times this season coming into this start. So this is more than what Joe Madden was hoping for.
Fouled off by Bautista. His longest stint, 4 2/3 on the 18th of June against the Florida Marlins. But as a guy who's used to being in that starter's role from 07 right up to last year, almost exclusively a starter. And Bautista is able to draw the 1-out walk. Third walk issued by Sonnenstein. Now Jaso will pay a visit to the mound, and that will buy Randy Choate a little time to get loose in that Rays bullpen. Sonnenstein last worked in the big leagues July 18th. 2 2/3 against New York in that game. Gave up A-Rod's 598th home run. But it looks as if his afternoon has come to an end. 5 1/3 for Sonnenstein. He will leave the game down 1-0. Bautista, the 1-out walk is his responsibility, and Randy Choate will make his way in from the Rays bullpen. Can't say enough about the job of Sonnenstein. Travis Snyder to face Randy Choate when we return. Steiner goes 5 1/3. Choate has a runner, Bautista, on first, and now will face left-hand hitting Travis Snyder, who comes in to replace the injured Vernon Wells.
The only left-hander in the bullpen for Joe Madden. He's going to play him here with a couple of powerful hitting left-handers coming up. Snyder, Lynn right behind him.
Wells made an unbelievable catch to end the top of the 6th inning, going deep into the center field, left of center, right up against the wall, and he limped off the field, but it didn't look good. He immediately went into the dugout and down into the Blue Jays clubhouse, and so Snyder comes in off the bench.
He has handled left-handers this year, has Travis Snyder hitting over 300 against him. Thing with Randy Choate is he's got that good breaking ball, and if you show any time that front shoulder starts opening up, he's just going to continue to pound that slider down and away to you. He does that with Snyder, throwing in 3 of them for the strikeout.
So 2 down and a man aboard for Adam Lind. Lind has really struggled lifetime against Choate, just 1 for 13. Choate gets ahead of Lind. Bautista had a 1-out walk. Snyder came in off the bench to replace Vernon Wells. He struck out, and here's Lind against Choate, and now he's ahead of him 0-2.
Drop down 3/4. It's got to be tough on lefties, and he has handled left-handers this year. Choate 190. He only gave up 1 home run to a left-handed batter all year. He comes from about 3/4, and he just keeps bending that breaking ball a little bit further each time away from him.
Bautista on the way, but it won't matter because Lind is caught looking. So the inning comes to a close. Vernon Wells is injured. Randy Choate comes in and strikes out the 2 batters he faces. Brandon Morrow comes out set to work the 7th. He's got a career high 11 strikeouts. Home of the Whopper.
Your starting pitcher is throwing shutout baseball. You got to give up your body, and that's exactly what Vernon Wells does on this drive by Ben Zobrist. Straight out to left center field, makes a sensational catch right up against the wall to take away extra bases.
Visit BlueJays.com/Burger King to register for a chance to win prizes with the Burger King Superfan Contest. So with Vernon Wells leaving the game, Dwayne Wise moves from left to center, and Travis Snyder comes in off the bench to play left field. Carl Crawford has been a tough customer and has given Morrow fits in his 2 at-bats to this point.
Ice cream bars.
The Jays right-hander with a career-high 11 strikeouts. And a few times this afternoon he's fallen behind any of the Rays hitters. Crawford returning to the lineup for Joe Madden after taking the last 2 days off. Pretty good pitch there from Morrow, and I believe this is the second 3-ball count of the afternoon.
He's always had a good eye as Carl Crawford, good on base percentage.
Good pitch there from Morrow. And he brings it back full.
There's not just speed with all the stolen bases and triples, extra base hits from Carl Crawford. He's also got great power. 12 home runs this year. 58 driven in. You make a mistake, he can hurt you that way also.
Full count to Carl Crawford, leading it off for the Rays here in the top of the 7th inning. Chopped away once again. We have just gotten word from the Blue Jays that Vernon Wells has left this game with a dislocated right big toe, going up against the wall, and it's on the landing right there. Oh, gets it caught under the fence. Ouch. So we'll be without Wells the rest of this game. Crawford continues to foul off good Morrow pitches. Crowd waiting in anticipation. Lifted in the air, but this one too should slide foul, and it does.
It's a lot like Carl Crawford's last at bat against Brandon Morrow, when he fouled off pitch after pitch. He eventually got him, Morrow did, swinging for a strikeout. 9 pitches now in this at bat.
3-2 on its way again. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Crawford couldn't touch that one, and Brandon Morrow has 12 strikeouts.
He threw him a couple fastballs that he fouled off, said, I got to go back to the breaking ball. It looks like a fastball coming in there for the hitter, and then just drops out of the strike zone. Tough to hold up your swing on that one.
Evan Longoria 0 for 2 with a strikeout on the afternoon. Morrow misses low and away. It's been a tough stretch for Longoria of late. The right side, Aaron Hill giving chase. Bautista coming in. Bautista to the ground, and this one lands one row into the seats. And bodies sprawling everywhere, and now Bautista's slow to get up.
Had a long way to go. He's actually playing Longoria in right center field. No doubles, so he had a long way to go, and realizes right at the last second that there's no way that he was going to catch it, so you go down and you slide into that wall to absorb that wall as you run into it.
Jays defenders giving themselves up here this afternoon. Good pitch from Morrow. His location has been fantastic.
It's been down at the lower part of the strike zone. He's been able to throw it on the outside part of the plate, the inside part of the plate.
1-2. Longoria fights it off. Morrow has now thrown 95 pitches, 70 of them for strikes. He has been on his game here this afternoon. A career high 12 strikeouts. In the dirt, Longoria doesn't offer. Strike 3. 13 for Morrow.
When you can throw your fastball at the bottom of the strike zone with consistency, you can then throw your breaking ball at the bottom of the strike zone and out of the strike zone, and that's exactly what Morrow does. Gets Longoria to go after that one. And another swinging strikeout.
2 down for Dan Johnson. 4-pitch walk in the second. The lone base runner this afternoon hit on the ground. It goes through the legs of Overbay. Hill can't cover it up, and Johnson reaches on an error.
It's an easy play for Overbay. The ball came up on him hard. That'll be scored with error, his 5th of the season.
And Overbay be the first to tell you that. That's a play he makes in his sleep.
Ball hit hard. He gets in front of it, but it comes up on him. Right on his heel. It looked like Hill had a shot, but thought wiser. Held on to the ball.
So Johnson is aboard once again. Quite an afternoon so far for Brandon Morrow. A career high 13 strikeouts through 6 2/3. Joyce looks at a first pitch strike, and a good one from Morrow.
Just the second time that he has thrown out of stretch all afternoon.
Joyce is 0 for his last 17 with 6 strikeouts. Pop foul, and Encarnacion will give it a look, but it'll sail behind the Jays dugout. The Jays won the first game of the series by a 2-1 count on 2 unearned runs. Came back with a season-high 20 hits and 17 runs scored yesterday. And leave this one 1-0. Brandon Morrow at the century mark. 0-2 to Joyce. Morrow works. Strike 3! Caught him looking. 14 strikeouts. What a performance for Brandon Morrow. The Blue Jays will bring Hill, Overbay, and Encarnacion to the plate in the 7th. Fourteen strikeouts.
What an afternoon it's been for Morrow with the strikeouts. Pitch count's pretty good with 14 strikeouts to just be over 100. He has been dealing all afternoon. He's had a great breaking ball and a good fastball that he's been painting and really crossing up a lot of these hitters.
The Blue Jays continue to cling to a 1-0 lead, scored all the way back in the first inning on a Vernon Wells RBI bloop single. Wells left this game after ending the top half of the 6th inning with a spectacular highlight reel catch. A dislocated big right toe has forced him out of this game. But Brandon Morrow surely got his money's worth out of Wells in this one. A great catch and accountable for the lone run in this game. 2-0 count to Hill. That misses away from Choate. All is quiet in that Blue Jay dugout. 3-0 to Wells, misses, or to Hill rather, misses away. And he has drawn a leadoff walk. Randy Choate came in last inning to face Travis Snyder and Adam Lynn with 1 out in the inning. He stranded Jose Bautista, struck out both Snyder and Lynn. Here he walks Hill to lead off the 7th and now faces Lyle Overbay.
Lyle Overbay with a long look at third base coach Brian Butterfield to see if there's anything on here in this 1-run game.
Wheels are spinning in that Jays dugout. First pitch right back up the middle and into center field. Base hit by Lyle Overbay. He loves those close and late situations and comes through once again.
7th inning, his batting average is over 360, so he's got the inning set up now. Joe Maddon's got to go to his bullpen.
The powerful Edwin Encarnacion waits on deck. And it'll be Dan Wheeler coming in out of the pen to face Encarnacion. The Blue Jays lead it 1-0. Wheeler.
Sinker slider veteran, has been around for a long time. Great numbers for Wheeler. Last time he pitched was 4 days ago against Minnesota. They're looking for a ball on the ground, and he comes out of the bullpen throwing lots of strikes. He had the fewest walks per 9 innings last year, the best of any AL reliever last season for the Tampa Bay Rays. So Wheeler throws lots of strikes. Right now they are looking for anything on the ground to help him in this inning.
Encarnacion lined right at Longoria. 1 pitch, 1 out. Tough break for Encarnacion. He hit it a ton.
Makes it look so easy. Watch Longoria's reaction right out. That ball's hooking right at him. With those nice soft hands, makes it look easy.
to the bottom of the lineup for Jose Molina, who his last time up in the 5th inning, he walked and then was fooling around with Dan Johnson there at first base. Caught the Rays off guard and stole second. Here he's charged with trying to buy the Blue Jays a little insurance. He's handled Brandon Morrow to the tone of a career high 14 strikeouts to this point. Hill bouncing around at second. Pitch to Molina is down. And the count is 2-0. The Jays have had so much trouble against this Rays team. Last time they won a series against the Rays, you have to go back to September of 2008. Right here at the Rogers Center, a 3-game sweep. But the 9 series in between until this one started Friday all ended up in the Rays' favor. Toronto has guaranteed itself a series win here, winning the first 2 games. And looking to try and sweep the Rays right out of town. 2-1 to Molina. Fouled out of play. Not only has Molina done a fine job behind the plate, but this year has given the Blue Jays some unexpected offense.
4 home runs and just over 100 at bats, but he's come up with some really big base hits for the Blue Jays. That's the thing. It's hard to do for a young player to play twice a week and come up with big base hits.
Another foul off by Molina. The first 2 hitters of this inning reached. It was Aaron Hill drawing a leadoff walk, and then Overbay with a base hit right back up the middle. Joe Madden went to his bullpen. Randy Choate left the game. Dan Wheeler came in, and on the first pitch he threw, got Encarnacion to line out to Longoria at third. And here we are with a 2-2 count on Molina. Chopped back again.
He's only faced him 3 times in his career as Jose Molina versus Dan Wheeler. Looking for his first base knock against the veteran.
Brandon Morrow looks on, looking for a little more support. Keeping it loose and easy in that Blue Jays dugout. Another 2-2 pitch to Molina. Out in front, swing and a miss, strike 3. Blue Jays looking for a clutch base hit. They'll try and add on to that 1-0 lead, and with 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th, they'll turn to Dwayne Wise at the top of the order. Wise is 1 for 3 with that single back in the 3rd inning. Struck out his last time up, and that was the lone strikeout of the game for Rays starter Andy Sonnenstein. Wise steps out. We've talked about it so many times, Pat, that he's done such a great job coming up and playing that 4th outfield spot, getting the spot start. Moved into center field here today to take the place of the injured Vernon Wells. Seemingly does something every time out.
Bench players have to stay ready. So they have to ready themselves a little bit different than everyday players. You might take extra fly balls. You might take extra batting practice. You might go down to the cage and wear out Dwayne Murphy on some soft toss. Anything that you need to do to keep yourself ready, your batting eye, stay sharp if only you play once or twice a week. A lot easier for a veteran player who's been around and knows himself, knows the league, knows his strengths to do that. Dwayne Wise certainly has been able to do that this year.
And in talking to Wise going back to his first stint, the start of the decade, he was so worried every time up that he had to do something in order to stay in the lineup or to keep his job at the big league level. He's well past that now, and he's used that veteran experience to perform as well as he can whenever he gets the opportunity. Good hitters count here. Fouled it off his leg and walks around the box grimacing. I was told yesterday by Cito Gaston that he would be in the lineup today, so was able to go home, prepare, get a good night's rest, and come to the ballpark fresh and ready.
So what's he do his first time up? It's a bullet right back through the middle. It's caught.
Aaron Hill at second. Lyle Overbay is at first. There are 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning with the Blue Jays leading 1-0 and a 2-1 count to Dwayne Wise. Wheeler sets. Swing and a miss. Wheeler's just been so reliable for Joe Maddon working out of that pen. Opponents have hit just 193 off him over the last 3 years. That's the second best of relievers that qualify with 150 appearances. Only Mariano Rivera has been better. Pitch down, and Wise does well to work the count full.
He'll use an assortment of pitches. Breaking ball, sinks it. And he'll throw them in fastball counts if he needs to. Doesn't walk too many batters. And he's always had a very good strikeout to walk ratio, almost 5-1.
Just 10 walks and 35 innings of work for Wheeler this season. To check Hill at second and deliver the full count pitch. And Wise goes down swinging. The Blue Jays strand a leadoff walk and a base hit by Overbay, but continue to lead at 1-0 thanks to a fine performance to this point by Brandon Morrow. The 8th inning here at the Rogers Center. Blue Jays scored in the first inning, and that run has held up to this point. Brandon Morrow working on a career high 14 strikeouts and starts John Jaso off with a strike. In their 4-game losing streak, the Rays have hit just 173. 24 of 139 during that stretch. They've only been swept once this season, That was by the Boston Red Sox at Fenway from the 24th to the 26th of May. A Rays team that continues to play well on the road at 33-20, owning the major's best road record. Yanked foul by Jaso.
Jaso has a pretty good idea at that plate. Lou Madden has batted him in the leadoff spot. First time that a catcher in their history has batted in that leadoff spot. In rookies, he's third in batting and fourth in RBIs. He leads all rookies in walks.
2-2 up and away.
More walks than strikeouts, so this is a tough hitter at the plate right now.
Morrow, deep breath, checks the sign from Molina, the full count pitch. Oh, a great breaking ball there. Number 15.
When he has had the Ray hitters looking for his fastball, he drops a curveball on it. Jaso obviously looking for the fastball, can't pull the trigger on that breaking ball, and it's right there. And when he has him looking for the breaking ball, he's zipping fastballs by him, using everything that he has with his pitches to punch out 15.
Just the 5th time in Blue Jays history that a Blue Jays pitcher has struck out 15 or more. Roger Clemens has the team record. He struck out 18 in 1998 against Kansas City. He then struck out 16 a year earlier against Boston. Struck out 15 twice, both against Baltimore. And you can add Brandon Morrow to that list now, with 15 strikeouts against the Rays here on August 8, 2010.
Shows you what happens when you combine great stuff, a great arm, with the ability to pitch. Throw your breaking ball over for strikes when you're behind in the count. Throw it with 2 strikes, 3 balls. Use your fastball to both sides of the plate.
Pitches into Upton. Willie Ibar has come out onto the on-deck circle. I think we got a pretty good indication about how well Morrow was throwing very early in the game when B.J. Upton, on a 2-strike emergency hack, basically he hit it out of the glove of Molina and then started smiling as if to say, man, this is going to be tough today. The fans starting to make more noise now with 2 strikes on B.J. Upton. Morrow steps back onto the rubber. The fans acknowledging his fine work. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 16 for Morrow.
Did you see him reach back? It's the 8th inning, 2 strikes, and he reaches back with 95-mile-an-hour heat. That's what I mean, his ability to pull back. Throw pitches when he has to, but when he needs it, he can throw that fastball by a good hitter in B.J. Upton. Wow.
But Joe Madden goes to the bench. Willie Ibar comes in to hit for Reed Brignac. Brignac was 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Ball 1 to Ibar. A sensational performance one night after we saw an historic performance from JP Arancibia. Lifted into the air, center field, Dwayne Wise running hard, running in, and makes the catch. The Rays retired in order in the 8th. The Blue Jays clinging to a 1-0 lead here at the Rogers Center on an electric Sunday afternoon. here this afternoon. Well, just a couple of base runners, but a career high 16 strikeouts. That's just the third time it's happened in the history of the franchise. Willie Ibar, who came in to pinch hit for Reed Brignac, remains in the game and will play second base. Yunel Escobar set to lead it off for the Jays in the bottom of the 8th inning. Toronto stranded 2 runners in the 7th after a leadoff walk by Hill and a base hit by Overbay. Encarnacion, Molina, and Wise failed to bring either one of them in. And so the 1-0 lead remains intact. Escobar on the ground. Bartlett on 2 hops. 1 down.
A home run wouldn't hurt right here. Maybe a little extra breathing room. 1-0, a little too close for comfort, isn't it?
Well, you got the major league leader with an opportunity to do it.
10 straight series now that he has homered in, which is a new franchise record.
A lot of Blue Jays history coming down the pipe here in the last 3 days. These young fans hoping Bautista hits the mark. He's got 10 home runs since the All-Star break to lead all of the major leagues. He had a great spring training. People were wondering if he could keep it up. Came into the year a man on fire. Started off slowly, but has not looked back since about the 1st of May. He has played an outstanding right field for Cito Gaston. 9 outfield assists.
Oh, by the way, that leads the American League.
Oh, yeah. Chop swing by Bautista. Johnson thinks it will remain in play. Into foul territory he goes for the 2nd out of the inning. Stay tuned after the game for Sportsnet Connected, Early Jays post-game reaction, plus a full recap from a busy day in Major League Baseball. Get connected after the game. 2 down for the Jays in the bottom of the 8th. Travis Snyder came in to replace the injured Vernon Wells in the 6th. Randy Choate struck him out. Wells injured himself in the top of the 6th inning, a dislocated big right toe, making an unreal catch on Ben Zobrist to end the frame. One of the finest catches we've seen here at the Rogers Center. And so Snyder came into the game. Wayne Wise moved from left to center, and Snyder now manning the left field post.
Been swinging the bat a lot better of late. Gap-to-gap power. That's what he has. That's something that you can't teach.
He was really chomping at the bit when he went down for a rehab assignment in AA New Hampshire. Had to spend 10 days there. His return to the big leagues was delayed by a spot start by Mark Zepchinski. And so on the 11th day, he came back and was welcomed back by his teammates. Pegged to be a big part of the Jays' future. Came to spring training in better shape, a new mindset. And when he was injured, was hitting like a man on fire. And here he draws a 2-out walk from Wheeler. Joe Madden now comes out to the mound. The infield will come in. And with the ever dangerous Adam Lind waiting, Madden has gone to the pen. Lance Cormier trying to pick up the final out in the bottom of the 8th inning. He'll face Adam Lind when we return. 1-0 over the Tampa Bay Rays, and Joe Madden has gone to the pen for Lance Cormier.
He worked a season-high 4 innings the last time he was on the mound. That was on Wednesday when they faced Minnesota, and so they have not seen him since. So he is well rested through 59 pitches over those 4 innings on Wednesday. First batter he will face will be Adam Lind. Comes right over the top right after you.
Interesting move here as the numbers favor Lind in a brief history. He's 2 for 5 against Cormier lifetime. Snyder's 2-out walk is on it first. Lind to left field. This will drop. It will make its way to the wall. Travis Snyder now round second. Rounding third will be held up there by Brian Butterfield. And Lind has a 2-out double. The Jays have runners at second and third.
Tough decision for a third base coach. He knows how important that run is right there, but you can't get him thrown out at the plate. Carl Crawford, one of the best left fielders in the American League, gets on top of that ball quickly. Lind slashes the ball down the left field line, and Crawford very quickly gets over there. Can't cut the ball off, but closes the gap and gets it in quickly, so the Jays cannot score Snyder from first base, and now it'll take a hit by Hill to score the run.
17th double of the season for Adam Lind. First pitch hit on the ground. Longoria gathers it, and that will be it for the Blue Jays. For the second consecutive inning, they strand 2 base runners. Brandon Morrow set to work the top of the 9th. The Blue Jays clinging to a 1-0 lead here at the Rogers Center. Afternoon here. The Blue Jays looking for the sweep against the Tampa Bay Rays. Blue Jays 1 run on 5 hits. They made an error in this game. The Rays have had a couple of base runners. Jason Bartlett leads it off. First pitch, swinging, strike 1.
He has had that breaking ball all afternoon long, and he has thrown it for strike 1 half the time.
Strikeout and a ground out for Bartlett. He's 0 for 2. Morrow works, strike 2. For just the second time this season, the Rays have had to go to an extra starter. Was Andy Sonnenstein pitching a marvelous 5 1/3 in a relief start. Bartlett in the air, center field. Dwayne Wise going back and ahead of the track makes the catch. Jeff Neiman was the scheduled starter in this game. Right shoulder soreness left him out. Sonnenstein comes off the DL, does a great job, 5 1/3. And 4 Rays relievers have held the Blue Jays to just 1 run, along with Sonnenstein. But this has been an afternoon to remember for Brandon Morrow. A career-high 16 strikeouts. Just the 3rd time it's been done in the history of the franchise. 1 out. Top of the 9th. Morrow has worked ahead of hitters all afternoon long. He's fallen behind Zobrist 2-0. Zobrist a big threat in the 6th inning. He drove a ball just left of center. Vernon Wells, max speed, max effort, made the catch, and that forced him out of the game. He injured his big right toe on the play and had to leave. And Zobrist draws the walk. Just the 3rd base runner this afternoon, allowed by Brandon Morrow.
And this 3rd time that he has had to go to the stretch. Still a 1-run ball game. That's why every pitch is so important. He is up to 122 of them now.
Carl Crawford steps in. Zobrist has good speed at first. Morrow works. Strike 1. Crawford didn't like the call, but you're bound to get a little bit of an extension of the plate when you've pitched as well as Morrow has pitched this game. Strike 2. Fans appreciating the efforts of Brandon Morrow. An 0-2 count to Crawford. They are on their feet here at the Rogers Center.
How about that emergency hack right there? He has gotten Crawford 3 times with breaking balls, but he has set it up with fastballs against Crawford. Fastballs away, and then he comes back with that breaking ball, and he hasn't been able to hold up on it.
Once again, the fans on their feet. The building is electric. Morrow, 16 strikeouts in the afternoon. Left field, Snyder in, makes the catch, 2 down. Joe Carter stuck around to watch this one. One of the more than 23,000 on their feet here at the Rogers Center. The Jays holding on to a 1-0 lead. Ben Zobrist is on at first. Evan Longoria at the plate. Inside, ball 1. JP Arancibia set the city abuzz yesterday with an historic debut. Brandon Morrow doing the same here today. Morrow sets and works. Right field, slicing, foul.
Every one of these fielders wanting the ball hit to him.
Longoria 0 for 3. 283 average on the season. Hit on the ground. Aaron Hill dives, and it'll go off his glove and into right field. Zobrist makes his way to third. And the official scoring will play a huge part here, and indeed a base hit. What an effort by Brandon Morrow. The first hit of the game he's allowed, and it comes with 2 outs here in the top of the 9th inning. Hill did everything he possibly could. He got leather on it, but that was it. And Cito Gaston has to make that long walk to the mound with the Jays holding on to a 1-0 lead and Tampa runners at the corners.
You know those infielders feel bad. They wanted a shot at it. Hill did everything he did, like you said, to his left. It got into his glove, but then popped out. And Cito Gaston just wanting to show his youngster, hey, I'm going to give you a breather. Can you finish it off? Watch the pitch down and away. Longoria reaches at it, and the Blue Jays were playing him up the middle at second base. You can see where Hill's playing. He gets over there, and it bounces off of his glove for an infield single.
The 4th base runner of the game, the first hit. Morrow can't believe it. And then realized that, hey, I better get back into position here. What a performance. Aaron Hill, maximum effort. Just couldn't come up with it. And the no-hitter is spoiled.
Watch how far Hill has to go. And it's in his glove and then out when he hits the ground.
Can't call that one an error? I'm trying, man. I'm trying. 1-0 to Johnson. I mean, the game still hangs in the balances, and that's the thing Morrow has to get focused back on. That's the task at hand. 1-0. That tying run is at third in the form of Ben Zobrist. Morrow works the 2-0. And that one's in there for a strike. The crowd continues to remain on its feet here at the Rogers Center. 2-1 count. Yanked foul.
Johnson was hitting over 300 in AAA. More walks than strikeouts while he was at Durham, so he's a tough one also. He's been on base a couple of times this afternoon, an error and a walk, but Morrow's also got him swinging. One of the 16.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Longoria on the way, and again, yanked foul by Johnson. Just one no-hitter in the history of the franchise. That was Dave Steed in Cleveland, September 2nd, 1990. More than 23,000 thought they were about to witness that year. But Longoria broke it up with 2 outs here in the 9th. 2-2, and again, Johnson doing a great job as Morrow is now up at 135 pitches. Once again from Morrow. Johnson got another piece. Well, you mentioned it yesterday, Pat. These Rays don't go easily.
No, they certainly don't. And Johnson is tough also. Tough to strike out. More walks than strikeouts while he was in AAA. Had a home run in yesterday's game. Brandon Morrow looking for his first complete game.
On the way, swing and a miss, strike 3. Brandon Morrow, spectacular effort. 17 strikeouts, 1 hit. First
first career complete game, and the Blue Jays sweep the Rays with a 1-0 win.
We were witnessing magic this afternoon with Morrow. You could tell it from the first inning when he struck out the side. Zobrist, Crawford, and Longoria going down. And he had enough in the tank to get number 17, the last batter of the game.
That lone one in the middle of the runs and the hits.